Who needs sleep?
Nah, overrated.
Weary.
Never heard of it. Ghost Energy will get you there. If only we were brought to you via Ghost Energy.
Hey, yeah, Ghost Energy. We'll take a sponsor.
Please help us.
Send us a case of anything but orange dreamsicle.
Yeah.
Or the Welch's. I haven't tried the Welch's grape one either.
That seems like it's gonna be too sweet for me.
I feel like that's a cultural thing. I was like, you need to leave that one alone, boy.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's like if you come out with like a Capri Sun flavored one, I'm like, just leave Capri Sun as it is. Do not.
I was about to say that's like that's a children's thing. I'm not doing that. It'd be like a uncrustable flavored.
Hang on, we might be onto something. Peanut butter jelly? Yeah. No, thank you.
No, no thanks.
Boys are grinding is where we're getting, folks.
Right. Rocket Pop. I'll take a case of Rocket Pop.
Oof. Yeah, I'll go in on that. I'm here for it.
Cool. Well, PenPals, back to you. Another episode talking some ball. Interesting find this week, Mr. Dowdy, because we do batter up to warm up most episodes. Who'd have known? Play around up on the batter up website, and I found there's lots of good stuff there. One being the same concept there for pitchers.
Oh boy.
Which, given you, Duke pitchers, I try to take it all in. This should be right in our wheelhouse. So,
yeah, we'll on that note, PenPals does have an idea for some kind of game like this. If you're an app developer of any way, shape, or form, let us know. If we got a little something that we'd like to figure out if we could do it.
Right. Not going to talk about it. Not going to let any ideas steal or anything like that. But talk to us for show.
We're not computer people.
No.
Not smart enough.
The editing is enough. That's as far as we go.
My dog has a better chance of figuring it out than I do.
Click until it works.
Hey, did you take the game out and blowing it and put it back in?
Hey, that's our era, though.
Yeah, it is.
64, just beat on it. Turn it off and on.
Dude, we were in Fort Worth. Was that 2 weekends ago? Whenever it was. And there was a used video game shop that had like N64s. Oh, I wanted to get one so bad.
I am of the opinion, I've talked to my wife about this rabbit trail. Because the thing with video games now, it's all about like playing online or whatever. It's playing online, being there with your friends, kind of your global ranking. Can I stream it? Whatever. We grew up in the era. I do not care. If the person's not in the room, it's all good. Put the cord back on the controller. Yeah. Put the cord back on the controller. I'll do my trash talking live and in person. So I've done the same thing. Got younger kids. I got a 7 to 3 and like a 5-month-old.
And a baby.
But I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, one Christmas, I'm going to track one down.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to get some GoldenEye. I'm going to get some Mario Kart. And I'm going to humble these children so fast.
The first thing that went through my mind with the N64 was GoldenEye, when you'd have to like make sure they weren't looking at your screen. So you'd like put cardboard up or something.
Yeah.
Because you could immediately figure out the map wasn't very difficult. Oh, there they are.
Yep.
How does my brother keep killing me? Well,
exactly. I'm going to trick them too. We're going to play nothing but Golden Gun early and often.
Oh, yeah.
Just, boo.
Smell ya.
I be daddy? Because daddy's an OG.
Because daddy knows.
Yep. Okay. So moving on. Let's see if we can figure out whose wind-up this is.
Gotta maximize screen here so I can actually see it. Oh. Tanner Bybee?
The rocker step at the opening. I guess it's not a rocker step, but the side step. You think it's Tanner?
It might be. That's my first guess, at least.
Boom!
Bang. He's not usually that animated on the punch out, so that's the only thing that I wasn't totally sure about. But wow, even Triton wants to celebrate this one.
We were tailor-made for this. Man, this is in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, give me that one, huh, babe?
Nice. I love it.
Top shelf curveball action.
Yeah.
That's a Cleveland Guardian special with a little rocker step right there. Oh man, you'll love to see it.
Dude, I was looking like details enough to where like I'm looking at the size of the neck. I'm like, okay, this guy like thin. This guy's got some meat on the bone. This guy goes for seconds most dinners. Like we're pretty accurate.
Yep, nailed it.
Nice.
Is that
Inner
we got
we're gonna do a pickle now because of that.
The one shot killed kind of ruins the tempo there, but hey, babe.
No, we're good. I love it. Good problem to have. Looking like experts. Okay.
I'm just so happy they didn't pick a middle reliever for the Anaheim Angels, where I was gonna have no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you give me who's the White Sox closer? No idea. Never heard of him.
Nope.
They have one?
No, closer by committee. By committee, we mean like all 8 guys in the bullpen who hasn't thrown in a few days.
Pretty much.
Okay. I'll start it out. Let's be a tad repetitive.
Oh, I'd love to see it. I see you, dog.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. So, hey, not AL. So it's NL West or NL East from the USA, a starting pitcher.
And he's 26.
And he's 26.
And he's not a righty. He's a lefty.
Correct. So a lefty, NL West, NL East.
Give me Mackenzie Gore.
Okay.
I don't know that he's 26, but oh yeah,
there he is. This is over.
Bang, bang, bang.
Dowdy, we are geniuses, my friend.
The downside is we're 6 minutes in and we've wasted.
We're good.
Both our warm-ups.
With the topic of conversation, we can take rabbit trails, argue a little bit. Baseball parents, let me talk to you for a second. Clontsy here. We are in the heat of summer. Most parents out there, not wise, but you're spending a fortune on BB Core bats, Bruce Bolt sliding mitts, and batting gloves. None of that matters if Braden, Bryson, Kaysen, and Landon are hitting $195. So they got to put in the time and effort to train. When they do, make sure they're running around in baseballism gear, specifically talking about air mesh shorts. Make these kids get out and run. Run until they know the work ethic, and some baseballism air mesh shorts will keep them cool, keep them styling, and will affirm the love of the game. After they're done running, bring them in, let them load everything into a baseballism backpack, and hit the road. When you go to baseballism.com, use code PenPals for 15% off at checkout. Tell them the guys over at PenPals, Clontsy, Duke, and Dowdy sent you over. Because a lot of baseball fans just don't know what they're doing.
That's also a good question for this rabbit trail. Because Mackenzie Gore was the pickle answer, who do we have starting on these two rosters on the bump? I did not pencil one in.
I did. So just it doesn't go to voting. Obviously, it's appointed by management. Correct. And I'm trying to remember.
Folks, for your edifice, we are in fact talking all-star rosters.
Correct. That's to preface this. Yeah, we're talking all-star rosters. So they've started releasing kind of voting updates as far as who's winning. The most recent one as of noon today. So we have a good idea of who's running away with it, who should be winning it and is not, what kind of fan bases are just pounding the polls. Pause. But
awkward.
Right. So Dowdy and I have both kind of done ballots for this. And so we'll go through for each position who we think should get it. And then kind of reveal who's winning the voting at said position to start out. So let me pull my ballot back up. All right.
I'm going to be toggling here.
All good. Okay. So we'll do it by position. Do AL, then NL. So AL, first base. There's a couple of correct answers here. I felt like, I need to save that. I don't want to do any like tells giveaways.
You know who I would have liked to have been able to vote for this?
Who?
A guy that refused to play first base for an AL team. That's who I would have liked to have been able to vote for this. Senor Devers.
Let's say you can vote for him as the NLDH if you want, but
Yeah.
Okay. I should preface this with saying, too, the All-Star game, obviously, for a lot of guys, this is it. This could be the pinnacle of their career, is an All-Star nod. So I have a tendency when voting to go for the guy that hasn't been there before, the underdog, if you will, if we can justify it numerically. So that shows up a couple of times in my ballot. I can't say that based off what the fans turned in, there's a whole lot of instances of that. So first base, I went for such a guy out of the AL East, Tampa Bay. Give me Jonathan Aranda.
Yes, sir. That is the correct answer. Come on.
Okay.
Down.
So again, hitting 325 OPS of just under 900, 8 homers, 41 RBIs.
Not your prototype first baseman.
Correct.
More on base, less juice, but right up Clontsy's alley with hitting 325.
Bingo. Give it to me.
And I think the biggest thing here is, are the Rays where they are in their division if they don't have a Ronda at first base?
Absolutely not.
That's what it kind of came down to for me. Because like you said, there are a couple options at first. They're not, what are they, second right now or third? Third in division?
I have that up.
They were second. Okay.
2.5 games back.
Yeah. So you're 2.5 games back of the team that spent the most money in the offseason.
Right.
Via not spending really any money. And it's a huge thanks to Jonathan Aranda, who they've had waiting in the wings, who has done this for the past 3 years at AAA. I believe he won the International League batting title back-to-back years and only had 50-something plate appearances in the big leagues during those 2 seasons.
Right.
He has earned this right, and now he's doing it at the big league level. He deserves this All-Star nod.
Right. I will say, looking at the lineup at Tampa Bay as a whole, there's really maybe one other argument to be made where they may have an all-star at this position. But other than that, there's not really a shining star here. Not in the rotation, not really in the pen.
I'd love to see Drew Rasmussen get a bump here. I'd love to see
that's fair. As well. But again, there's no big superstar coming out of Tampa Bay. Guess we could go bail the one out of jail. But he got prison time this week. I saw that, or at least they're going for prison time.
As they should.
As they should.
Put him under the jail.
Right. But regardless, validating what you're saying, the Rays are where they are in large because Jonathan Aranda has had a great season thus far. But alas, the number 2 vote getter at first base in the AL is none other than pinstripe Paul Goldschmidt. Looking at the numbers, 296, 8 home runs, 32 RBIs, an OPS of just under 800. Meh. It's good.
Yeah. He's hitting 25 points under Aranda, basically.
Right.
But what I do have to give flowers to, this is a guy that coming into the season, we're like, I mean, if he hits 250 with 15 on the year, you're kind of okay with it.
Right. That was the point, is let's look at what he did last year.
Yeah.
And the year before. This is a bit of a resurgence by all technicalities. So not to dump on Paul Goldschmidt.
Even a little bit. Love the guy to death. Incredible person. Just sorry, it's Aranda for me.
I agree. The leading vote getter in the AL, people love the name, one Vlad Guerrero. 279, 10 homers, 39 RBIs, and 825 OPS. It's kind of an eye roll to where it's yeah, that's all-star numbers. But again, let's take the opportunity to give somebody a chance that has had a great season, arguably a better season than Vlad, that hasn't been there before. But
I'll take a Ronda season over Vlad's season every day of the week.
Right.
A 2 home run difference as we head into the last month before the break, and he's hitting 40 points higher.
Yep.
That's huge disparity in batting average.
Right.
That's not 1 or 2 hits a week. That's 3 hits a week.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm out. Nah, miss me with that. I would be interested to see if Nick Kurtz goes on a little tear here. He might be able to sneak in.
It's not
250 with 10 right now. If he can bump that to like 255 with 14 in the next month, I won't be surprised.
He would need to be glued to Jacob Wilson's waist for the next, like you said, next month before, or the voting will close before then, for the next few weeks to get that average up to where it warrants some attention. But that's
Agreed.
not to say he won't be an all-star at all, just because there will be the player votes in, the manager choices, all those. So we'll see. But
sorry, that was probably a sore subject too with what he did to the Astros. That's on me. Apologies.
We're lucky the West is so bad it doesn't matter.
Hey, our first place Astros though, babe? Never a doubt. Only every minute of every day.
Let's drown in mediocrity. Everybody gets their T-shirt in September, October, and we'll forget about it till next year.
And then we'll do it all over again.
Yeah. Okay. Switching to the other side of the league, looking at the NL. There's only
one right answer.
I have two.
There's only one right answer. And I'll stand on that.
Okay, I'll let you go first. I went first last time. Who you got?
Give me the polar bear.
Okay, all right.
This is the first season for Pete that he has truly been an MLB all-star starter caliber player. He has carried that Mets offense for most of the year. Give the man his flowers.
Right.
Look, I get it. Freddie's doing Freddie. He always does. He always will. That's who he is as a baseball player. Pete's numbers are better in basically every fashion. He's hitting for more average. He's got more homers. His OPS is higher. His WAR is higher. Give Pete the flowers. Put him as the starter. On top of that, you know he'll go do the Derby. You want that guy in it.
Yeah.
Like, give the man what is due. He took a pay cut to come back. He was begging for a contract. And now he's bet on himself and he's going out and balling. Yeah, you deserve to be an all-star starter.
Which the reality is, too, when you think about the Mets, you went out and spent all the money for Juan Soto. Juan Soto hadn't had that great of a year by his standards, too. So the Mets are where they at in large part because of Lindor and Pete Alonso. So that was also my vote. Acknowledging Freddie Freeman, pretty consistent for where he's at. Given the age, it's impressive. Nonetheless, it's all-star caliber. It's not starter material, if you ask me. So I agree with you. I think Alonso should get it. That was my vote.
Freddie, it's a classic Freddie season.
Right.
He's at 321, 9 homers, and 914 OPS. It's a great year, but it's just not as good as Pete's.
Right. Okay. Real quick. Okay. Moving back across leagues to second base.
Ugh.
You and I, yeah, exactly. You and I talked about this a little bit beforehand. Second base for the AL, just not appealing at all.
No. It's picking the lesser of two evils, and it still feels evil.
I was about to say, it's just gross.
Everyone I want to pick, I can't.
Right. So naturally, just being in Houston, you're trying to build a case for Altuve, and it's very like, Jazz, Jackson, Holiday, Brandon Law, still as well. But I gave it to none other than Gleyber Torres. Change of scenery, kind of looked like he was a Jag in New York. A little bit of a resurgence. The numbers are decent in Detroit. Obviously, the Tigers are just a juggernaut this season. It just seemed like the right move, but I go kind of back to your statement too. It was very not attention grabbing whatsoever.
Yep. And I know we talked before this that I was in agreement, but I'm changing back to my original. Give me Willie Castro.
Okay.
And I know he's technically not a second baseman. He's got basically even splits of second base and the corner outfield spots. But I think that's part of the reason I'm giving him the nod. Where it's like, okay, this is where he's registered on the ballot. He has played to a point and kept that Twins team relevant due to his play. If you look at just surface level numbers, his numbers are better than Gleyber Torres.
Right.
His WAR is somewhat downgraded because he has logged so many innings in corner outfield spots, where if he had just played second base, he's probably got another win and a half in WAR because he's going up against second baseman instead of corner outfield production. So I think it's unfair that he is getting that WAR kind of lead balloon feeling, we'll say.
Yeah.
Where it's like he's being weighed down unjustly. But yeah, give me Willie Castro, starting second baseman. I'd love to see it.
I wouldn't hate it. And you start to you think about the rule too, where every team has to have a representative. Joe Ryan's probably going to get a nod. Willie Castro could be. We'll see how the pitching plays out. But if the Twins have one lone representative, I could see a case where it's Willie Castro and no one else. But we'll see how that pans out. Fans got this one right. Gleyber Torres. That was kind of a common denominator. The Tigers fans are very active in the polls thus far. So,
and I will not say the fans got it wrong with Gleyber. I think a case can be made for either player at that point.
Right. What do you got for the NL?
I mean, the NL second base I think it was the biggest layup of all of them, honestly.
Right.
Like, you look at the year Ketel Marte is having yet again. Like, we talked about him being an MVP type player last year. He's doing it again. He's got over 1,000 OPS. He's hitting 310. How do you not have him as your starter at second base?
I agree. You can't look past the OPS for me. I was sitting there trying to build a case for Brendan Donovan, just because he is.
Because you want him in.
Right. You want him in, and you look at, okay, the Cardinals are far exceeding at least our expectations. He's a big piece of that.
Huge piece.
Right. I can't argue with the numbers there. It's got to be Marte as far as the starter. Donovan, you make the trip, come hang out with everybody. But
absolutely, log your innings, middle of the game. You've earned it. I won't be surprised if he and Helsley are dealt at the deadline. Honestly,
I think Sonny Gray, I could see
you get huge returns out of those three. Yeah, I mean, as much as it stinks because he does feel like a Cardinal through and through, I think that's going to be the situation there.
Okay. Going back across, third base for the AL. This felt like another layup to me. Usual suspects. I chose Joe Ram. Just far and away the better numbers. OPS over 900, hitting 323, 13 homers. Par for the course. Joe Ram doing what Joe Ram does. There's not. Well, let's let you get your piece in first. Do you agree or disagree?
So I did not have him as the far and away winner.
Okay.
He won via technicality in my brain.
I know where you're going.
If Bregman was healthy the whole first half, it's Bregman. Period. Right. End of story. He is the best third baseman in the AL. Not close, really. But when you're injured for about a month, it doesn't matter what you put up in the first little bit because the numbers, even missing a month, are comparable to Jose Ramirez.
Yes.
He's been healthy. He's been available. Yep. He's been consistent in the lineup while you were missing. And sadly, that does play a part in my All-Star voting. Yeah. So yes, I did pick Joe Ram, but it was kind of by default.
Right. So do you, I guess, ask that question too? It doesn't matter past a certain point when the polls close, but knowing a guy's injured, I still go ahead and vote for him as well if I know he's not going to play in the game as well. Same opinion?
Yep.
Okay. As they should get the respect.
Yes. And their bonuses that come with it, like all of that. They deserve it. They have earned it. Yeah. Again, if he were only hurt 2 weeks instead of a month, I think he wins it outright. Because you look at the numbers and they're just so much better than Joe Ram's at that point.
Right.
But yeah, sorry. You got to stay healthy to be my guy.
Right. Fans got this right. Top two were Joe Ram and Bregman in that order. So same dilemma. Going to the NL, who you got?
This one might be a slight surprise.
Okay. I'm going to surprise you with mine as well. I'm wondering if we have the same guy.
We have the same surprise?
Maybe.
Give me Eugenio Suarez.
Yep.
Again, we talk about resurgence. This guy is doing it after a couple years of, are we sure he's sticking around? Is this sure who you want playing third base?
Yep.
25 tanks already on the year. He had the 4-homer game. I think that's a cool little notch in the belt of like, yeah, same year I hit 4 in one game. I was an all-star. I was the starter at third base.
Right.
There's no one else at third base that I'm like, oh no, he far and away wins it. So that's the guy I'm going to. He hasn't started an all-star game. I think he deserves to at this point. Yes, I can see the case to be made for Machado.
It's one of those things too that Machado's been fairly consistent. He's done typically what he does, which is very good. It's all-star caliber, but my consistent knock on Suarez was he never hits for average. He's got pop and nothing else in between. Okay. 250 is not setting the world on fire, but it's progress.
And it's not the 210 that you're used to.
Correct.
Yeah, it seems like his probably career average is probably somewhere 210 to 220 with what 30 homers.
Right.
He's on pace to hit 250 with 50 at this point.
Yeah, and then the Diamondbacks one game above 500. Pitching hadn't been there. The reason that they're even above 500 is the two guys we talked about: Cattell,
Eugenio,
Flores,
and one other guy that'll get.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute potentially. Yeah, maybe. Okay, going back across. Well, first off, fans. It does not. They don't give me a clear winner on this. I believe it's Machado.
It's Machado. Muncy is 1-2. Which I can see Machado. Muncy is strictly Dodger bias. Like,
right.
The year's been solid, but not that good.
Yeah, I agree. Fans should fix that. Austin Riley, not an awful year, but not.
Nope.
Yeah, not what we'd expect.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving back across, shortstop for the AL. Okay.
Where are we going here?
I'm
so interested.
Yeah, this tugged on my heartstrings. Who I wanted to vote for wasn't even a top 2 vote getter currently, but pleasant surprise at how stacked the shortstop was, I guess we should say. So
a case can be made for many players.
Correct. So I went ahead and did what I thought was the right decision. Give me the rookie out of not Oakland. I took Jacob Wilson.
I should have known you went for the batting average guy. Should have known.
Who'd you go for then?
This is going to make a lot of our listeners' hearts stop. I gave it to Jeremy Pena.
Okay.
For a lot of the same storylines that we've already talked about, the Astros are not where they are today without the impact that Jeremy Pena has had this year.
Right.
He has taken over the leadoff role and run with it. He has played solid defensively. He is the only truly reliable bat in that lineup right now. Like, I didn't think we were going to get to the point of like, hey, game's on the line. Who do you want at the plate? And it's Jeremy Pena.
Correct.
But he's earned this. He's almost at a 4 WAR already. If you would have told me he had 4 WAR on the season, I'm like, dude, way over expectations.
Right. Interesting comparison. It's not what Kyle Tucker is putting up, but he's replaced a good chunk of the production we lost by getting rid of Tucker.
Basically all of it. Yeah. It's pretty close to the point of like, okay, the damage numbers aren't there, but he's getting on base at a higher clip.
Right.
And it's one of those where we're trying to figure out how you're making this stuff up when you get rid of Tucker. Pena took it on himself.
Right.
Yeah. Kudos to him. I did not have him playing this way. He deserves every flower he should get for this nomination. Hats off. Well done, Jeremy Pena. Yeah. I wanted to pick Wilson. I'll be completely honest.
Right.
Going in, I thought it was a shoo-in, and then I dug deeper, and it just ripped my heart out. Poor guy.
Live in Houston, but you hate the Astros.
No, I don't hate the Astros. I disagree with some of the things the front office does.
That makes all of us.
Yeah. You should pay your best players and keep them. I know. It's crazy. Crazy.
Insane concept. The fans.
Just imagine if you had Pena and Bregman, or Pena and Tucker, or Pena and Tucker and Bregman. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're talking World Series or bust, homie. Oh, wow. We blew that one.
Yeah. Fans on this one, not completely wrong. Number one vote getter was Jacob Wilson. Number two was actually Bobby Witt Jr., which we've talked about that a little bit. He's so good that the numbers are good and probably all-star caliber worthy, but they're not what we were seeing last year.
Correct.
So
it's a down year for Bobby Witt.
Correct.
Which hit 288 with 10 and playing an electric defensive shortstop. Yeah. Tough.
Wow. Okay. Going across the league, this one will get interesting. I had some beef with this one. Shortstop for the NL.
I hated this one.
Yeah.
There were so many things that I'm looking at where I'm like, oh man, I'd really like to take him. I'd really like to take him. I got back to the same argument that I've now made 3 times of, okay, where is their team and what is the role they played in their team being where they are?
Right.
And because of so, I gave it to Frankie Lindor.
Oof.
I know I didn't want to, but when you look at the all-encompassing nature of what he's done for the team, been the consistent cog in the lineup with Pete. He's got an 816 OPS, hitting 270. The WAR is a 4 already. Like, how do you not give it to him? He's played defensive shortstop at an immaculate rate all season long. He's been healthy all season long. I can't not give it to him. There's other younger, flashier guys that I would really like to see in the All-Star game.
Yep.
But I also do think there has to be a passing of the guard. Give Lindor his start, hand it over to the young guys, let them go wow some people in the later innings. Yeah, I couldn't supplant him as the starter.
So I did. I took a younger, flashier guy. I went ahead and took Ellie De La Cruz as the shortstop. Going against kind of my MO a little bit, not quite the average guy, 264, 17 yaks, 52 RBIs, 834 OPS. It kind of just got to where it was, which would I rather have? Like, it's a 7-point advantage to Lindor on the average, but Cruz has the better OPS, the better RBIs, and an extra homer. So, again, it's not a drastic difference. I think both are all-stars, but it is what it is. If I was being normal, typical Clontsy, I'd have taken Trey Turner, and we didn't do that. So let's acknowledge development.
I'm so proud of you. And I think I should say this now at this point. RBIs mean so little to me in today's game now.
Yeah.
I overlook that stat all of the time because, again, depending on where you are in the lineup, you can't control who's on base ahead of you. Now, early to mid 2000s, that was the stat you looked at. Where are the stakes at? Is he putting up 120 a year? If not, he's not producing. I legitimately gave huge interest to CJ Abrams as a starting shortstop here. Because, again, then I'm looking through the lineup as a whole, and I'm like, I don't hate him in my leadoff spot.
Right.
Like, I'm okay with that leading off for the NL. I mean, there's another guy that should lead off, and CJ should hit second most likely. But, again, I wouldn't hate that pick if someone were to make that argument. Mookie Betts as the number 2 vote getter is crazy to me.
Yeah, and we've already saw that with Muncy. That's just fan base crashing the polls. Number 1 vote getter was Lindor. There's a case being made for there. That's not wrong, but again, I went with
it's stock.
Yeah, I went for excitement. So,
and I'm here for it. I do think Ellie and CJ, I hope they both get in. I would like to see them both in the All-Star game. I think it would be good for the game because, like we've now talked about, I guess last episode, with the Nationals window starting to open.
Yep.
It's time to get those young guys into these big moments so that the market starts to understand how dynamic these players are.
Right. Okay. Probably the easiest chalk pick, slam dunk, on the ballot thus far. Catcher for the AL. There's only one right answer. It is Cal Raleigh out of Seattle.
A big dumper.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me with the year he's having?
As a catcher, What is going on? 31 yaks, OPS again, over 1,000. This is a no-brainer.
This man, not only is he going to set the record for most home runs by a catcher this year, barring injury, of course. Now, I'll knock on wood just in case for that one.
Yep.
He has a legitimate threat to break the AL home run record. Is that not crazy? Last year, we were all blown away that Aaron Judge was hitting home runs at the clip he hit.
Yeah.
Cal Raleigh is mimicking it.
It would be hilarious if he broke it.
If he has a hot rest of the month, there's a chance he gets close to Bonds' record for most in a first half.
Which is
I want to say 48.
Okay. I was about to say neighborhood of 50.
Yeah, that's crazy to even think about.
Yeah.
But Cal Raleigh is absolutely doing it. I'm not going to say the only reason the Mariners are in it, but pretty darn close.
Yep. Go across the brackets there. NL, who you got?
Chalk pick.
Yep.
Will Smith. Which, for as lackluster as I said that, he deserves it. He deserves all the flowers. To play catcher on a day in, day out basis and hit 328 with a 969 OPS. Crazy. Same thing that we're talking about with Cal Raleigh. Like, those numbers are insane to see from catchers.
I will say that is the correct pick. We may, out of this position group, get the Rockies' lone all-star representative. So quick shout out to Hunter Goodman.
Very solid year. Very solid
year. As a rookie, I believe he still has eligibility. Came up a little bit last year, but didn't spend much time up. So,
yeah, my honorable mention was Jose Trevino. I would love to see Jose get in the All-Star game. He's been known as a defensive catcher his entire career.
Correct.
Quietly hitting 307, 4 pumps, 863 OPS. Like, really good year offensively. Just going to say it.
I wonder how many reps he's lost to Stevenson. Stevenson's
lot.
DHing a lot, but
between Stevenson and, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. He was absolutely going off at the beginning of the year as a catcher. Oh my goodness. Like, the most stock white guy catcher too.
It's not Barnhart. He's gone.
No. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All they list is Trevino and Stevenson. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those are the only two on the depth chart.
Well, he apparently got DFA'd, and I didn't even know, but
didn't go hot enough at the beginning of the year.
He was hitting like 380 with like 6 pumps at one point, and it was like, wait, what is happening right now?
Okay. Austin Hayes is another one. He started out like that, but not a catcher. Okay.
He did get consideration for my outfield, but
the health kind of played a role in that for me. I stopped a little bit as well, marinated, but alas, that will take us to the outfield. Largest position group, again, you don't really go by center field, left field, right field. It's just outfield in general. So my 3 pained me to do it. Aaron Judge. That's correct. Riley Green. Round of applause. Great season. And then, surprised when I saw the numbers on this. Byron Buxton.
3 for 3, huh, babe?
Right. Had to give it to him. Again, that's one of those instances to, like, former number 1 prospect in baseball, was drafted number 1. Like, health has always been a thing for this guy. And it's don't look now, but solid first half. Give the man an all-star nod while they still got it. Yeah. Easy 3 for me. Fans were a little bit different, but they were close. You have the same 3 as I do?
I do have the same 3. And on the Buxton note, it is at the point of, man, just imagine what his career could have been if he could have stayed healthy the entire time. It's giving Griffey vibes. Because you see now, this is, I think, the only season he's been fully healthy for an entire half. And we got a 285 with 17 and hitting 928 OPS.
Yeah.
Like, those are huge numbers out of a plus defender with plus speed.
The Twins seem to collect guys like this. Royce Lewis was the same way. Austin Martin was highly touted at one point and had the health issues. I mean, we talk about Correa. Something in the water in Minnesota.
Yep.
Fans had it a little bit different. They had Javier Baez in as the outfield selection over Buxton. Again, Tigers fans, glad to see you're watching baseball again, but I'll disagree with that one. Let's go across leagues again. This one could get interesting. Who you got for outfield in the NL?
Oh man. Let's see if we can go 3 for 3 again. Actually, okay. I already know we're not going to go 3 for 3 because I don't think you picked one of mine.
I don't think I did either, but I bet we're close.
As my center fielder, starting center fielder for the NL, arguably an MVP candidate, Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yep.
Holding down left field from the little old Washington Nationals, give me James Wood.
Correct.
And coming into right field, the speed demon himself with 20 pumps on the year, Corbin Carroll.
That's where we differ.
I knew it.
Predictable as well, too. Like, I had the same, except I took Tucker in right field.
And I went back and forth between the two of them.
Okay.
And eventually got to the point, like you've talked about, where it's like, man, I just think the defensive ability and the speed ability of Carroll kind of outweighed for me. I know Tucker's hitting at a higher average. Realistically, it should be Acuna. But again,
the sample size is small.
Exactly. The injury is again making me pause. Where it's like, okay, I need the production of a guy that's been here all year.
Right. Interesting development, I think, on Carroll's part, too, because I think the year he won Rookie of the Year, it wasn't the pop. He was hitting for average. And it's kind of flipped the other way to where the pop has shown up. The average has dipped a little bit, but not to the point where it's detrimental to the game. 255 is nothing to snarl at in modern baseball. So
now,
again,
can I give you two that I want to see in the game as replacements?
Let's go.
I need apparently we're celebrating that. I need Jackson Merrill in it.
Yes.
And I need Dane Myers in it.
Those
are two guys that we're talking about getting the young guys in the game. Those are two guys that their first halves, despite injury, are deserving to be in this game.
I paused on Dane Myers a little bit just because it was, hold up, out of Miami? I missed this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very surprising. I'll give shout out to another name that I slowed down and looked at was Andy Podges.
Yep.
So, fans were close on that one. Got PCA, got Tucker, and then the one miss, Teoscar Hernandez. Dodgers fans, stay out of the pools.
Please. The fact that you went Teoscar instead of Pages is crazy.
Yeah.
Pages legitimately deserves to be in that race. I would love to see if Acuna gets the nod that he, hey, I'm not going to play in it, been injured, blah, blah, blah. Get these young guys lined up, please.
Yeah.
Because, you give me 3, maybe not rookies, but second-year guys starting in the outfield for the NL, I'd be so excited to watch. Some combination of Wood, PCA, and pick any of the 3 we just talked about. Pages, right. Merrill, or Myers.
No ball ever touched the ground.
And it just
Wood's not a speedster, but
it'd be fun to watch. Where it's like this is the new guard. Not to say that any of the other guys, Tatis or Tucker, gone by any stretch, but these young guys have earned it.
You kind of get to that point too, to where Tucker, Tatis, all those guys have gotten the big payday. Typically, with that, it's like foot comes off the gas a little bit, and it is the changing of the guard time, like you talked about. So, yeah, I agree. Let's see the young guys, fresh blood.
I will say it's going to be hilarious if Juan Soto is not a starter.
It looks like it's going to happen as of right now.
How's your $1 billion man doing? Oh, not an all-star starter. Now.
Last thing on NL outfielders, I need James Wood in the Derby.
Oh my, would that be fun to watch? As long as it doesn't screw up his swing for the rest of the year.
Nothing. They're not.
No, I'm worried about that. Come on.
Potentially. Okay. To last few. DH for the AL. Your Orioles finally getting a nod.
We got one.
I locked it as Ryan O'Hearn.
Right there with you. I think arguably the biggest trade chip on the market going into the deadline, Ryan O'Hearn.
Right. The story to me is still wild on this one. Even last year, as good as he was last year, wasn't even a starter. It was pretty much platoon.
Nope. Yep.
And he's kind of commanded his way into everyday play, which Mountcastle getting hurt will do that to you. But
yeah, great guy, Sam Houston alum, just absolute dog, and has played his way into the All-Star game, as the fans have it correctly.
Fans do have it correct on this one. Shame on the second pick, though. Ben Rice is number 2. Yankees fans, get out of the polls.
For the first month of the season, yes, I agree.
Yeah, but
he's cooled. Now we need to look elsewhere. Like Brent Rooker should get more consideration than Ben Rice at this point.
Correct. Jorge Polanco, even as much as he's cooled off, he killed it for the first 2 months of the season, probably.
Yep.
More so than Ben Rice, at least.
You know who I'd like to see as a Derby guy?
Who?
Caglione.
Oh yeah. I don't think it'll
happen. But
right.
In the future, I won't be surprised if it happens. But oh man, it'd be so fun.
It would be fun. I will say not this year, but let's get a full season under our belt next year. Very much a possibility.
Yeah, I need it.
Okay, and another layup. Going to the NLDH. It is.
Is it a layup?
It's a layup.
Do you know how bad I wanted to pick a certain person?
Yeah, I bet you did. That's why I was sitting here going, don't you do it. I started like, is he really gonna? Yeah, don't do it.
I'm not. Go ahead, Shohei. Take your stupid DH spot.
Barohei Ohtani.
I mean,
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we can get him to start the game on the mound too. Treat it as one of his rehab starts.
Let's not.
We should give him his flowers. 291, 26 homers, over 1,000 OPS, blah, blah, blah. Yep. But the guy we really want to talk about here, Kyle Schwarber, hitting 250, 24 pumps, 920 OPS. That's my backup DH.
You're going to ignore Devers for...
Absolute, not even a question. Kyle Schwarber is a vibe guy. Devers is being excised because he's cancer.
Kyle Schwarber has done derbies historically. That'd be another one that'd be fun to watch.
And really, like, all I want is to have a Schwarber Scooble first at bat of the game. I think that would be so much fun to watch. Because it's 3 daddy hacks, and it's either a homer or a punch out.
Right.
That's what you're getting. He's either going to hit a ball 6 miles off 102.
Yeah.
Or he's going back to the dugout and shaking his head. Like, I gave my best shot.
That's a good segue. That's what I wanted to do to close it out. Though the fans get no vote in the starting pitcher aspect of it. Looking at the numbers, I think it's pretty clear who right now should probably be the starter for both. Guesses?
I know you're leaning Scooble and Skeens.
No.
Really?
Yes.
I'm so surprised. Okay, give it to me.
Scooble's the lock, I think, but I went Zach Wheeler.
Say what now?
Zach Wheeler to start for...
I don't think my headphones are working. Hang on. Wheeler?
Yeah. 2.61 ERA, 118 punches.
Have you seen what Skeens' ERA is, pitching for arguably the worst team in the NL?
Let's look. It's $1.85. It's interesting because it's $1.85, but ESPN doesn't have him as a top 10 on the Cy Young predictor. What is going on?
Which is foolish because he's got 4 wins because his team can't score any runs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forgive me for trusting the source to an extent. Skeens definitely got a whip of point.
Dude. When I started looking deeper at the numbers between Skeens and Scooble, I'm like, dude, how do I pick anybody else? Because everything in me wanted like a Crochet Wheeler start.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, Crochet, I love that you've thrown more innings than Scooble. I love that you have more strikeouts. But Scooble's in the same situation where I think it's like a .83 whip, something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, dude, they're not even allowing people on base. They're just punching everybody out.
Skeens has had actually a couple of, I'm surprised the ERA is that low because there were a couple of starts earlier in the season where he did get touched up a little bit.
He had at least one that I can think of where he gave up like 4 earned. And then since that, he hasn't had a game where he gave up more than 2 earned.
Right.
He's on a streak of like, I think it's 7 straight, sub 2 or sub 3, I want to say.
I would say personally, like Wheeler gives the vibe of always a bridesmaid, never a bride, essentially. Yep. To where I was like, okay, this feels good and right to give it to him. But now that we're looking at numbers and I didn't dig deep enough, I guess, like Skeens and Scooble is must-see TV.
I mean, let them both go 5. I just want to see the duel at this point. You're never going to get it. Like, the Pirates are never going to be in playoff contention.
Correct.
At least Scooble, they put something around him.
Yeah. Well, until they trade Skeens to a contender potentially.
But... Oh, they would never. Didn't you see? We know. Not us. We don't trade our big time prospect. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Thanks for Garrett Cole, by the way. And Tyler Glasnow is doing all right.
Yeah. And that Shane Baz kid isn't bad.
Yep.
Who'd you get back? Archer? Oh, that was a rough one.
Yeah, you gave up Baz, Austin Meadows, like Studley prospect haul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, again, we are towards the end of June. We are less than a month away, like 3 weeks away from All-Star break. So there will probably be some shuffling of the boards as final All-Star rosters come out. We'll get reactions from us as disapproval and disappointment kind of come in for who made it and who didn't.
You're not wrong.
Who got slided.
Yeah. What were the snubs? Who's backing out so the snubs don't get snubbed?
Somebody always gets snubbed every year. It's just how it works. Roster's only so big, but again, there will inevitably be why is this guy here moment.
Where is the game this year?
I think it's Atlanta.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's so unfortunate. I'm there till like July 2nd.
Wow.
And then gone. I was really thinking they might have some all-star stuff at the stadium by then, but probably not.
Might be setting some stuff up, but nothing you'll actually get to go and do.
Or just like look at the merch or whatever.
Right.
Because I know Baseballism just dropped their July 4th merch, which watch out.
They did. Not bad. Waiting on those stipends to come through. Get some new lids and stuff. A lot of good summer collections over there. So
I think it's time I get one of those polos. I see you and Duke rocking those polos. They're nice.
Yeah, they're solid. The weave on them too, like you don't sweat really easy on them, so they're light and heavy at the same time, if that makes sense. So the Nike ones breathe too much for me. These breathe, but not too much.
The Nike ones are a little too sheer.
Yeah. My name's really small on the back of it.
Am I wearing lingerie? What's going on here? Why can I see through it?
Yeah.
Not our best.
Shout out our buddies at Baseballism.
Yeah, buddy.
Good stuff over there. New store opening in Frisco in the fall, I believe. So we had some folks up there looking at that last week. So again, stay tuned to PenPals for all the all-star updates. Just talking ball as it comes out. So Dowdy, anything else you want to get off your chest before we get out of here?
Kyle Schwarber should start the all-star game. Maybe I'll put him in the outfield. I don't know. Need him. Need to see that. Tell me him and Scooble isn't must-see TV first pitch.
It's kind of what you said. Be over quick.
Again, if Scooble does anything but throw 103 past him, like, come on. Let Shohei hit 2. Who cares? This game's for fun anyways.
That's right. It doesn't count. So that's a whole nother hill to die on.
Another last thought. Sorry, I got multiple all of a sudden. I can't believe Nick Castellanos didn't hit a homer while the air raid, I guess we'll call it, was going off.
Need a natural disaster, and
was kind of waiting on that one, but apparently that didn't hit. Wonder what the bets turned into.
That's the problem, is none of the missiles Iran shot hit either. So
plus 500 for Castellanos to go ball out today. All right.
America. All right. We're out of here. It's been PenPals. Thanks for hanging out.